The Finance Bill 2023 has come with its fair share of discrimination. Others have called it a bit of a move in the right direction. But at the heart of today's motion is matters on this finance bill. And the motion reads, the Kenyan Parliament should have increased taxes on luxury goods instead of VAT in the Finance Bill 2023. I read the motion again. The Kenyan Parliament should have increased taxes on luxury goods instead of VAT in the Finance Bill 2023. Proposing and opposing this motion is Kiongwani Girls Team A and Team B here in the Lower Eastern Region debates. All the best to both teams. I have been your host, Jana Ching. Team proposition, first speaker, you have 3 minutes.
So, Churchill Winston once said that a country that is trying to push itself to prosperity through increasing its taxes is like a man standing in a bucket and is trying to lift himself with the handle, which we all know is impossible. So my name is Purity Kerubo, Kiongwani Girls. I'm proposing the motion that said that the Kenyan Parliament should have increased taxes on luxury goods instead of VAT in the Finance Bill 2023. So what is this Finance Bill? A Finance Bill is a piece of legislation. It's a piece of legislation it's a piece of legislation that says more on the finances of the country. It can entail the government expenditure, the government borrowings, and the budget of the country. So what is the aim of raising these taxes on the VAT? For example, as we have seen, the increase of taxes in the VAT has led to an increase of these fuel products from 8% to 16%. And according to this new finance bill, 70 of the 100 shillings will actually be used on surfacing the debts of Kenya. And the million-dollar question is, where did these debts come from that you are trying to surface? When it was on the Moi regime, the Kenyan debt was 2.3 trillion. And with the Uhuru regime, the parliament only approved 2 trillion. So the Kenyan debt should actually be at 4.3, but according to the Central Bank of Kenya, the Kenyan debt stands at 9.4 trillion. So we are trying to pay for a debt which we don't actually know where it came from. Another question. When it was on the Moi regime, only 18 of the 100 shillings was used on loan repayment. And according to the Central Bank of Kenya, 5.6 trillion had been paid. So when we are saying that we should increase VAT, this will have a negative effect on our economy. Instead, let the tax be increased on the luxury goods. Thank you.
Thank you very much to both teams. Team opposition, first speaker, you have 3 minutes.
I'm Anne Roda from St. Albertina, Kiongwani Girls, and I'm here to strongly oppose the motion that says the Kenyan Parliament should have increased taxes on luxury goods instead of VAT in the Finance Bill 2023. I'll start by defining the term luxury goods. Luxury goods are also enjoyment goods. Examples of the enjoyment goods are alcohol, cigarettes, and also cosmetics. And VAT, it means value added tax. I oppose this motion saying that, let's say for example, alcohol. If alcohol is taxed, some of you may suffer because you are addicted to use of alcohol, and you may get withdrawal symptoms which may lead to death. How many of you here take alcohol? I'm sure there is quite a number of you here. Let's say, for example, if alcohol is taxed, some of you may suffer also from withdrawal symptoms which may lead to death. Also, those people who sell alcohol and those who manufacture alcohol, this creates employment opportunities for them. I also like to say that the Finance Bill 2023 should increase on taxes instead of luxury goods, because some of us may suffer when luxury goods are taxed, because some of us depend on luxury goods for survival. Also, luxury goods, luxury goods, they are needed by some of us. Luxury goods are needed by some of us so that they can create income. Also, luxury goods create income for our country. Maybe let's say, for example, the cat. We sell it to our neighboring country, the Tanzania, which they use it. That earns our country foreign exchange. If luxury goods are raised, we could not be selling cat to our neighboring countries. I support this motion by saying the motion should be taxes on luxury goods should not be increased. Instead, value-added goods are the ones to be increased. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Second speaker, team proposition, you have 3 minutes.
Yeah, it is true when you talk about luxurious goods. Actually, it's not luxury. They're luxurious goods. Now, what are luxurious goods, as my fellow proposers said? These are goods which are expensive. They are pleasant, but they only make our lives more comfortable. They are not essential. Now, not everybody uses luxurious goods. She has posed a question to us, asking, how many of us take alcohol in this room? I've seen some people laughing. That is an indication that not everybody takes alcohol. But why do you take it? Many of you take it so that you can take away the stress inside you. So you don't need it, actually. First of all, I don't like alcohol. But many of you here, you are wearing jewelry, like our judge here. She has a very beautiful watch. But is it important for her to wear that watch? No, it's not important. The same way it's not important for us to have luxurious goods. But when we talk about value-added tax, why don't we increase the tax of petroleum products? You know, when we specify on luxurious goods, we are trying to punish a certain group of people. And why should we punish them? They are innocent. Are they the reason why the Kenya is being owed 9 trillion? Actually, right now, if I do a mistake, should everybody in this room be punished? No. I'm the only person who is supposed to be punished and not everybody else. If it is punished, why don't we equalize? Why don't we punish the entire country? Why don't we increase the tax of things like petroleum products? That thing is used by everybody, and I am sure that the reason why you're in this room, you never came on foot. Actually, you never walked from where you were. You used vehicles, and what do those vehicles use? They use some of the products achieved from the petroleum products. Now, this is it. You know, I don't like jewelries, but maybe you like. That is the difference. You know, Once my dad told me that you don't need secondary things so that you can survive in this world. You only need the basic needs, and you should be okay with that. So why should we punish those people who use luxury goods instead of punishing the entire country? I'm urging my opposers here right now that you should come and join us in saying that Kenya Parliament should have increased taxes on luxurious goods. But let's ask ourselves this question. When we go to petroleum products, what do we get? Many things, right? Now, luxury goods. If you hear just the word luxury, you are like, what is that? But we forget one thing. Those people who sell luxury goods, they are rich. Now, I'm sure that those watch you are wearing there, you never collected them from anywhere else. You bought them. So let's not punish a certain group of people so that we can pay our debt. If it is punishing, let's punish the entire country. Let's do something which is going to show equalizing. I'm not here to propose or oppose. I'm here to tell you that if it is increasing tax, let us increase the tax whereby not a group of people will suffer, but the entire country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Second speaker, Team Opposition, you have 3 minutes.
Yes, I am standing in front of you to oppose the motion that says the Kenyan Parliament should have increased taxes on luxury goods instead of VAT in the Finance Bill 2023. Yeah, so my name is Mary Machocho, and I'm here saying that, like, having a question to you, my proposer, I mean, you're saying that alcohol, you're not a user of alcohol, but how can you not love alcohol and advocate for the alcohol being added tax on? You know, we should think of the things that are going to help us. And you know, when you talk about that, it won't make sense, since you would have, okay, maybe made the other people believe that maybe maybe adding tax on it will help in their way of living due to the luxurious goods. But it is not really going to help them, since it is going to deteriorate their health, and they are not going to be able to maybe continue with their lives as normal, since the people who consume alcohol, they suffer from serious diseases, especially the cancer, which is very common and it has killed many, you know. And on this, it cannot be a thing to be approved on, since it is really draining people, especially in their health. Yeah, and we are saying that we should be able to look at the things which are going to help us, especially on now how we have been able to reach here, when the taxes are not added to the VAT. It is going to be more efficient to people, especially in the transport sector, since we are going to be able to have enough, or we're going to be able to access the transport without using a lot of money, you know. Yeah, and I really believe that the Kenyan Parliament should have increased taxes on the VAT in the bill finance and not on luxurious goods. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Team Proposition, third speaker, you have 3 minutes.
I believe that large percentage of us have reached here using vehicles. What will happen if the petroleum products were being taxed high? I'm sure that the venue will not be interesting as it is right now. I am Rose Komeka from St. Albertina, Kiongwani Girls. My team and I still believe that the government should increase the tax on luxurious goods rather than petroleum products, because an increase on those petroleum products will attract will affect everything like transportation, cooking, etc. But the luxurious goods will not affect everything. We should make it in our mind that sacrificing something small to save a huge disaster is no harm. It will so punitive. It will be so punitive for the producers, like the manufacturers, industries who depend on the petroleum products to run on their machines. They will be taxed. They will be paying taxes, even for the consumers who they are just sleeping in their houses. This is so ridiculous. Martin Luther said that we must suffer together as brothers, or perish together as fools. There is no need of taxing one side. Are there people will segregated? If you're not agreeing with me, then we should equalize these taxes. 50% on luxurious goods and 50% on petroleum products. That equals to 100%. The first speaker said that we inherited 2.3 million from the 2013 to 2023 government, and 2 trillion was approved, making 4.3 trillion. According to Jimmy Nday's statement, said that 5.6 was paid, and now we hear over 9 trillion. Now, why don't we just come together as a country and clear this debt, or we just wait for the outcome? With that, I raise my case.
Thank you very much, Team Opposition. Third speaker, you have 3 minutes.
I'm Jacqueline Mumbua from St. Albertina Kiongwani Girls, strongly opposing the motion because many Kenyans depend on luxurious goods for their survival. Let's say the people who sell alcohol it's where they get their income, and they use the income to pay school fees for their students. Let's say if the VAT is added in the luxurious goods, the Kenyans will not be able to pay the school fees for their students, and they will lack the basic needs, the education. I strongly oppose, as the proposed side have said, luxurious goods is not a must to have them for your survival. Yes, I'm not opposing that. But let's say if the VAT was added in those luxurious goods, many Kenyans would not survive. Like the addictors of using alcohol will not have a good life because they have already addicted. They have been addicted of using alcohol. Yes.
Thank you very much to both teams. We will be taking closing remarks. Team Proposition, you have 1 minute to give your closing remark.
So I still believe that the Kenyan Parliament should have increased the taxes on luxurious goods. One of the luxurious goods, as we have said, is alcohol. According to NACADA, that deals with the drugs, 3 out of 5 students in Kenya actually are involved in this drug abuse. What if the taxes on these luxurious goods could be increased? This means that the prices of these drugs will also go high. And if they go high, this means that the rate of those who are using it will reduce. So this will actually help us in curbing this drug and substance abuse. Another thing, when you talk about VAT, you are actually talking about everything in Kenya. For example, these producers, they need these fuel products in their production. And if you increase these taxes on the VAT, this means that those producing, the number of people producing will actually go low. And this will not actually yield more revenue. It will also lead to diminishing revenue, because Once you increase the cost of production, many farms are going to close down and there will be actually no revenue for the government to collect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Team Opposition, you have 1 minute.
As she has said that in Kenya will not earn revenue when the VAT tax is increased. But I'm here to oppose what she has said because if taxes of alcohol are reduced, if taxes of alcohol are increased, we'll also not earn income from other countries like the Tanzania, which we earn foreign exchange from them by exporting cat to them. Also, as she has said that it will lead to body damage. If you use that alcohol well, it will not lead to body damage. Let's say maybe if you use it, let's say twice a week, you'll not be affected. Thank you.
I'm going to begin with the proposers, which is Team A, and I'm going to start with Purity. I'd like to commend you on the relevant introduction that you gave, the quote from Churchill, the numbers in terms of the loans that we've had in different regimes. I think that was excellent. Also the VAT and how much is going to increase, and the outcome of all these things being increased in terms of the taxes. So the negative outcomes to our livelihoods. However, I think you should work more on how you deliver your points. Your points were very relevant, but sometimes we were not hearing you right, and just the mastery of the content seemed like there were question marks, but your points were very good. So just the way you're delivering your message. Otherwise, the points were really good. Diana is a very interesting debater. Her voice is very powerful. She's very passionate about what she was presenting. I like the rebuttal and the way you explained and also corrected the opposers on luxury and luxurious. And just what they mean. I like the analogy on punishment, on why when you do wrong, not all of us should be punished. I think that made sense. And also the storytelling of your dad. And also the introduction of petroleum products, which are used by so many people. However, I think you should have given more points when it comes to products that are used by more people. It's just not petroleum. There is the food that we eat, the normal unga, the normal sukari, that's going to be affected. But I like the comparison between petroleum and the jewelry. However, towards the end, I felt like you were opposing. So this was your statement, and I quote, I am not proposing or opposing any of this. And then you continued with the statement, while in real sense, you are a proposer. So that should probably not have been part of the statement that you'd have made because you're an actual proposer, but very good. Rose, your conversation was veered more towards petroleum and how it would affect manufacturers. I fully agree. There was a quote on Martin Luther, very relevant. However, the last 2 minutes, there was incoherence. There was tax, 50-50 tax for luxurious goods and for petroleum, which while you're proposing that this VAT be added to luxurious goods, you are also supporting on this other end. So there was lack of coherence. So at some point, you're opposing, and then at some point, you're also proposing. So at the judge's desk, we were very confused. We were wondering whether you're proposing or opposing at the end of it. From the opposer's side, Anne, thank you for the explanation of luxurious goods, which also veered off to a conversation about alcohol and alcohol only. there's a bigger explanation to what luxurious goods are. It's not only alcohol. And then the conversation ended up being drugs, and cat and all that, while I think more should have been done towards this. Luxurious goods are not only drugs, and then which later on from the second opposer brought in the concept of addiction, which people can actually argue about whether it's good or it's bad. So my expectation when you started explaining was that you'd bring out what luxurious goods are and how people use them, not just alcohol. So it's always good to give more explanation so that more people can relate to what you're explaining as luxurious good in this case. For Mary, there was a lot of reading which made you look like you've not really mastered the topic. So everything, majority of the time you're actually reading from your paper, but I like how you started. It was a good rebuttal of why increasing tax when it comes to alcohol and drugs and how that can affect people. I think that was very relevant. However, again, towards the end, there was incoherence. When you started speaking about VAT and luxurious goods, it's like you are also proposing rather than opposing. And I understand that you're all from the same school, so maybe there was a mix of the points that you had, because that has been common amongst you all. Jacqueline spoke about alcohol and tax and how the people who are in the alcohol business would lack money and employment, and I felt like that was a repetition of what Anne and Mary had said. So overall, there was a lot of repetition, both from the proposers and the opposer side. The proposers talked more about petroleum only, and the opposers spoke more about alcohol. While in real sense, as Diana had said, there's jewelry, there's all these things. So I think more conversations would have been had with regards to these other things, all right? Okay.
The greatest room in the world is the room for improvement. Being your first time, you've given it your best shot, but it can be made better. Thank you.
Yes, we have come to the end of this debate. When it comes to matters tax, this could go on and on, but in the interest of today's tournament, I will go straight to the results. And the judges have awarded St. Albertina Kiongwani Girls Team B with 61%. A round of applause, please, for Team B. And the judges have awarded St. Albertina Kiongwani Girls Team A with 63%. A round of applause, please, for Team A. Thank you very much to both teams. And we have come to the end of this debate here. And remember to check our social media handles for more of this content at the Debate Circle. That is on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and as well as on Threads. And until next time, it's goodbye from us.